August 14th, 2004. I probably wouldn't even remember the date if it weren't for the fact that I have a t-shirt that has it plastered on the front of it. My friend Shay and I decided to go to New York City to celebrate my 22nd birthday. At the time, I hadn't really gone out of state without parental supervision, and Shay and I both had a reputation of having the worst luck ever. So when we told our friends that we were going to New York for 3 days, they basically were like, good luck. The first thing we did when we boarded the plane was tell everybody around us, we have the worst luck ever. So this plane is probably going down, just so you know. Luckily, we didn't get kicked off as being terrorists, and we made it to New York safe and sound. Our first stop was the liquor store. We were originally going to the Empire State Building, but we realized that in order to get liquor and get drunk before the Broadway show that night, we needed to go straight to the liquor store. So we did. So we get in, we get our 2 bottles of McCormick vodka because we're classy like that, and we get up to pay. And right when we did, the lady's like, oh, so sorry, our card's not working. So we realized the power was out. Well, luckily we had cash, so we were able to pay for our liquor, and we walked the 5 blocks down to Times Square. And somehow we didn't realize on the way there that something strange was going on. It wasn't until we got to the hotel that we realized that the power was out everywhere. And people around us were kind of getting frantic. The hotel clerk was like, you know, just hang tight. We're trying to figure out what's going on. Don't panic, which we did. I came from a very conservative household, and my mom basically got it in my head that I shouldn't be in a crowd of more than like 200 people or I would get exploded, bombed, whatever. And so within, an hour or so, people around us are starting to crowd and starting to tell their terrorist theories. And we're hearing stories. Like, I remember this one lady was like, my daughter is at the top of the Empire State Building with my in-laws who are crazy, and they're probably liable to start shooting people. And I'm like, Shay, good call on the liquor store. So here we are with no news, no cell phones are working, no radio, nothing. And all of a sudden my cell phone rings. And I pick it up out of my purse, and I'm like, oh my gosh, Megan, my sorority sister. So I'm like, hey, Megan, what's up? She's like, oh my God, I heard you're in New York and you have no power. It's like there's no power anywhere. And I'm like, I know. We're stuck here in the heat. We can't even go into our hotel. It sucks. She's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Well, let me know when you hear something. I'm like, okay, thanks. Have a good day. So I hang up the phone, and there's like a crowd of people around me, and they're all like, how'd you get your phone to work? Oh my gosh, can I borrow your phone? And then I shit you not, there's microphones start appearing in my face, and all of a sudden I'm being interviewed by radio stations. And they're like, how did you get your phone to work? And I'm like, it rang. And they're like, well, what kind of news did you find out? What's going on out there? And I'm like, there's a blackout. There's no power. And they're like, okay. So yeah, I'm really helpful. So after about 4 hours, we realized that if we were going to get bombed, we probably would have already. And we start relaxing a little bit, start getting to know the people around us. The bar eventually got emptied, and so we made some friends with our McCormick vodka, as well as a little bit of money. And at about hour 6, they started selling t-shirts, which I still can't understand. There was no power, but they were able to make t-shirts and sell them, which I bought some. And at about 2 o'clock in the morning, we were finally able to walk up the 23 flights of stairs to our hotel room in the dark, with no power, where there was no air conditioning, with our luggage. And so we get up there, and there's absolutely nothing to do. And so we look out at this empty, completely creepy Times Square, which is straight from a scary movie. No lights. And we're singing our favorite Friends song, which is, New York City has no power, and the milk is getting sour. And we're shouting out, like, trying to find our celebrity favorite people. Like, my friend Jay was in love with Rory Culkin, and she's like, Rory Culkin! Yeah, he was like 17. Anyway, so the next morning, we wake up, really hadn't slept. Still no running water, still no power. We go downstairs, we get kicked off the park benches where we were trying to sleep. And we're forced to sleep with homeless people on the grass. The rest of the trip pretty much stayed on par. We spent the majority of our time in an Irish pub performing NSYNC's Bye 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 to about 40 Irish people, which was actually quite fun. And then when it became time to leave, we tried to get out, but our flight was delayed for 2 days, which sleeping in an airport with air conditioning was actually a million times better than sleeping in a hotel room with no air, and or Central Park with the homeless. And then when we finally got in a flight, I got seated next to this Hasidic Jew who was wearing like 9 layers of clothing and hadn't showered in like, I don't know, 4 weeks and smelled like rotten Taco Bell. So that was nasty. But, and I vomited. But, all in all, honestly, it was one of the best times of my life, and I wouldn't take it back for anything. And although we saw no celebrities, and we saw no Broadway shows, and we did no shopping, I can honestly say that I went to New York, and all I came back with was a shitty shirt that said, "I survived the New York Blackout."